IntellivisionDude here for episode 2 of I Talk About Records. And I like to put a proclaimer at the beginning of every episode here that I don't have the biggest record collection. I know other people have a lot more than I do. They probably have a lot more knowledge than I do, but I don't care. It's all good. Because I do have a lot more CDs than records. Well, I'm catching up, but I probably have a more variety of CDs than I do records at the moment. Because a lot of the stuff I want on record is expensive, while cheap on CD. So, 2 records I talked about last episode, but that's okay too, because I want to talk about Fastway's debut. Last week I talked about this one here, Trick or Treat, which is an epic masterpiece. And I said I didn't like this one the first time I heard it, the original, because people were saying you got to hear their debut. And I didn't like it as much. But when I gave it a second listen, I liked it hell of a lot more. Hell of a lot more. It's still not as good as Trick or Treat, but it's really good, and I really recommend it. And one thing I didn't notice first time listening to it is the song Heft is on the Trick or Treat soundtrack as well, but it was on here first. I don't know, maybe I just didn't notice it when I first heard this one. Plus, I'd only heard this one once. I hadn't really heard the Trick or Treat but once when I listened to this, so I guess I overlooked it. And Heft is one of my favorite songs off the Trick or Treat album. So I recommend getting Fastway's debut as well. I still need to get some of their other ones. I'm not sure if they're as good or not, though. Also from last episode, as I talked about the Temptations, Do the Temptations, that I said overall was a magnificent album. Funky all the way through. But I said I didn't remember this one that well, because I only heard it once, and it's called A Song for You. So I gave it a second listen, and this is almost as good as this one right here. It's on par. And something I didn't notice, the song The Prophet sounds really, really familiar. And I can't put a finger on it. Part of me at first thought maybe someone had sampled it. So I looked up on the sample website. I forget what the sample website's called. But there was someone who sampled it, but it was someone I had never even heard of before. So that's not it. So either someone sampled it and it's not listed, or I just heard that song a long time ago, long time ago, and just didn't know who sang it. That's the only thing I can come up with. But I love that song, The Prophet. That is an awesome, awesome song. The whole thing's good, but The Prophet, I really like that. I didn't mention at the beginning of the video, but I forgot. I'm trying to cover multiple genres here. I'm trying to branch out, not just try to do just rock or just rap or whatever. I'm trying to do a little bit of a variety. So I thought I'd talk about this one here. The Skinny Boys, Weightless. Now, they were kind of like a parody of the Fat Boys of the time. They weren't as popular. But this is a good rap album. I showed this to a friend of mine, and he enjoyed it a lot, so much that he wants to get a copy. Yeah, it's I can't remember if he did get a copy. Now I'm trying to remember. I've forgotten now. But anyway, there was actually 3 songs off this album they played on the radio when I was younger. It was Jockbox, which is like their human beatbox, Feed Us the Beat, and Rip the Cut. But other good songs on here as well. Get Funky is great. Weightless is great. Ill is like, I'm trying to think what it parodies. Oh my god, I've forgotten. It's an old TV show. At first I was thinking it was like I Dream of Jeannie, but then I was thinking maybe it was Gilligan's Island. Shoot. Or maybe it was Green Acres. No, I don't think it was Green Acres. But Ill parodies a TV show. But I really, really recommend this. They had a beatboxer. The rapping was good. This is underrated and underappreciated for its time. So you can get this on CD now too. The Temptations you cannot get on CD. Either of those. Well, actually, I'm not sure about this one. This one you might or might not. But I know this one you cannot. This one you cannot. Then we got Herb Alpert, Rise. Now this one was a big surprise to me because I like Herb Alpert just because I like the big band stuff, and he's plays the trumpet. He's got his big band Tijuana style stuff. But this is different. This is funky. This is like a funky big band. And the biggest shock of all time is the song Rise. It is where Puff Daddy and Notorious B.I.G. got the sample for Hypnotize. It's from the song Rise. And it's that drop that you hear during the song. It's that sample. And it's like, Hypnotize is one of my favorite songs. So when I heard it in this song, I was so shocked. It's like, I thought maybe Puff Daddy had made up the beat himself, but no, he sampled it. It's hard to find original beats in hip-hop. Most of them are sampled. But it's shocking when you hear the song Rise and you hear that drop come out. I tell you. But he's the one who originated. And he's the one who came up with it first, though. So this album is pretty funky all the way through. It's really, really good. So even if you're thinking Herb Alpert, big band, you should check this out. And lastly, I want to talk about this one right here. When my friend Hunter was here, even he admitted this was one of the best albums we had heard out of all the ones that we had picked up. A lot of the dollar bin surprises and everything. This was a dollar bin surprise. I paid $1 or $2 for this in a dollar bin at a record store. Now here's the deal. I know who David Johansen is, but I didn't know what kind of style of music this album was. I had no idea. I know he was in the New York Dolls, which was a punk band, but I hadn't heard any of the New York Dolls stuff. I knew him better from his alter ego, Buxter Poindexter, who is a really crazy character. Buxter Poindexter is when he did the song Hot, Hot, Hot. If you ever heard that song, Hot, Hot, Hot. And he started the movie Scrooged. He plays the ghost of Christmas Past, the taxi driver, in Scrooged. The Bill Murray comedy about the Scrooge. But this is rockin' stuff. This is early David Johansen. This is really, really good. It's kind of got almost like a rock and a punk feel at the same time. I think the song everybody knows off this album is Funky But Chic. And that's it's kind of like a funky rock song. But not all that, the whole album's not like that. I think, it's hard to say what my favorite song on this album is. I don't know if it was Donna, if it was Frenchette. I keep playing over and over again the song Lonely Tenement. You need to hear that. If you can do anything in your life, listen to this album. Listen to the Lonely Tenement. The song Girls is great too. If I didn't know any better, I would say it almost sounded like the Beastie Boys song Girls was slightly inspired by his song Girls. Now, I don't know if there's any proof in that. I can't say that they copied it exactly or anything like that, but it sounds very, very inspired by, at least. Kind of similar and kind of not similar, but very inspired by. If it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. But this is a good album. Now I really need to get some of the New York Dolls albums. So pick up David Johansen. This is the biggest recommendation here of the week. So until next time,